Good morning. Today is January 2nd, and Happy New Year. It's 2025. I'm not sure when I'm going to be posting this video, but today I'm on my way to work. It is Thursday, the day after New Year's Day. I had off yesterday, which was really nice. And on New Year's Eve, I did something really fun to start out the new year. Every year people say, oh, I'm so happy to leave the year behind and get into a whole new year. A lot of times people have a rough year and they're glad to see it go. 2024, I think, was exceptionally kind of that way for everyone, or for most people. We're just over 2024 and wanting to see the new year come in. And I decided to go downtown. They were having a big celebration with fireworks, and they had the ball drop. It was actually a strawberry in our town. And in the city, it was just so cool. They had the streets blocked off. They had music playing. It was just a really amazing celebration of the new year coming in, with everybody, all the neighbors and everyone in the city all there together. Lots of warm hearts, lots of smiles, lots of people helping each other. There were people taking pictures of families for each other. Everybody was just everybody was in a great mood and feeling good. So that was a great way to ring in the new year. I was really happy that I went. So today I'm on my way to work, and I wanted to share, I had a couple of subjects in mind yesterday, but this morning I just decided to kind of switch up, and I don't know why I decided to talk about habits, but I guess it doesn't really have anything to do with New Year's resolutions, although I've never been one to make resolutions on New Year's Day, but I know a lot of people do. But I was just thinking about habits in general, and some of the things that I really need to change. I've changed a lot of habits in my lifetime. As I see a bad habit, I don't always do it on New Year's Day. I don't do that because I don't like to set myself up for failure. Because a New Year's resolution kind of says to me, I'm making a particular promise on a particular day and holding an expectation that I'm going to carry out that promise. And then when I don't, it just leaves room for disappointment. So instead, as I come up with habits that need to be changed, I change them as they arise. And for some reason, a couple of particular habits came up yesterday. I didn't really fast. I can't say that I fasted, because I did eat, but I didn't eat a lot. And I stuck to mostly like soups, and I just didn't really feel like gorging myself with food yesterday. And again, I listen to my body. When I don't feel like eating, I don't. And when I feel like having a big meal, I will. Most days I just have one good sized meal, and then some fruit or something, yogurt or cereal or something else around it. But yesterday I just didn't feel like it, and it made me think about fasting, and it made me think about the things that I'm putting into my body and how they might be affecting me, affecting my cells, affecting my health. And I decided that, I've done this before. I've done it several times before. I never stuck it out. But I looked up a video about sugar and about eliminating sugar. And when you say to me, if you said something like, okay, from this point on, you could never eat sugar again, I would probably internally freak out just a little bit, because I am a sugar fiend. And this guy was talking about something that I already knew. He said sugar is a drug. It's not a food, it's a drug. And, I have found myself overdoing substances and having to overcome that. Sugar is kind of a different animal for me, because sugar is involved in just about every food that I think tastes good. And these are the things I eat. So, I don't know if I could go to the point where I never have any sugar ever at all. But I do know if that were the case, if I could do that, it would be much better for my health. it would be better in a lot of ways. So I'm going to just kind of list a few things that this guy was talking about. He said if you went 30 days without sugar, what would start to happen in your body? And it was very interesting because what it comes down to is pretty much everything. It would help your body in every way possible to not eat sugar. Starting with your eyes, sugar causes retinopathy. I didn't know that. Going through your bloodstream, of course, I think most people know that diabetes can be caused by eating too much sugar. So your insulin levels would be regulated. Too much sugar causes too much cortisol. That I didn't know either. Sugar and cortisol are very highly related, and cortisol is the fight or flight hormone that we have in our systems, and it also it kind of kills off your melatonin, so it affects your sleep patterns, and that's something that I can really use help with, is my sleep habits. Fight or flight, that's what causes me to wake up in the morning feeling panicked when I'm not panicked at all. My life could be going perfectly fine, and the first thing I do is wake up in the morning in this sense of extreme panic, and that's cortisol hitting me first thing in the morning. That's one of the effects of sugar. What else do we have? Liver disease, cancer, kidney disease. It stops you, it keeps your water, does something to the water regulation in your body, so that you feel like you have to go to the bathroom all the time when you eat too much sugar. There are just so many things. It gets in your bloodstream and it causes inflammation. It causes things like rheumatoid arthritis and joint pain and muscle pain. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror saying, oh yeah, check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. I'm just checking all the boxes of these things. And when I talk about chronic pain, which I talk about a lot, I always say there are things that I can do to alleviate the pain, but do I really want to do the one thing that I think I don't know if I want to say would be the cure, but I do think that if I eliminated sugar altogether, I don't think I would be in pain. I've been a sugar hound my entire life, ever since I was a child. My parents used to take me to the penny candy store, and I would pick out bags of candy. Hey, if it's only going to be 10 cents, I'll get 100 of them, or 10 cents for a bag of 10, give me 10 bags. I mean, that's just how I was. I always had to have my candy. I always had to have my sugar. Now, I have backed way off of certain candies. I can't even stomach the kind of candy that's nothing but pure sugar. I used to eat gumdrops and cotton candy and things that were just nothing but a bunch of gelatin and sugar put together, and that I can't stomach anymore. And why can't I stomach those anymore? Because I haven't eaten them in such a long time. It's been probably decades since I've had. In fact, I think I was a child last time I had cotton candy. I can't even imagine putting that in my mouth anymore. And if somebody hands me those candy Easter eggs at Easter, it's just got nothing but gel in the middle of them, and then it's got a candy coating. I can't handle those. I would say no. There are certain things that are just I used to eat things like sweet tarts and that kind of stuff that you would just dump the candy sugar down your throat. Packs of sugar. Those are the kinds of things that I couldn't even imagine. But hand me a pack of Reese's Cups or a peanut butter egg, anything peanut or peanut butter, peanut M&Ms. I love peanut and peanut butter candies. I like dark chocolate. I never used to like dark chocolate before, but I heard it was healthy for you, so I started to eat dark chocolate. But then I have to have a little caramel in there. Or peanut butter. I can't just have the dark chocolate, It's got to have something else. But there was a time when I was allowing myself to have, to say you can't eat any chocolate or any candy or anything at all, that sounds so harsh that it almost affects the quality of life. But there was a point where I went a whole year and I fasted. I did a 20-hour fast, ate within 4 hours. I did that for an entire year, and after every meal, I would have one big meal a day, and then, like I said, I would eat fruit, or I would eat yogurt or cereal on the, around it, or bone broth soup or something. And then I would have 2 pieces of dark chocolate squares. And that was enough for me to satisfy my sweet tooth. But it was dark chocolate, it was cacao, which is actually a health food. It's not, it does have sugar in it, but if you have just a couple of pieces of cacao, it is considered a superfood. So that's all I did. I didn't have any other candy at all. And you know what? I did notice that after 30, 40 days of that, if I had a pack of peanut M&Ms and I started to eat them, they felt waxy. They tasted waxy. One of the things that eliminating sugar does is it brings back your sense of flavor. And I do know that is absolutely true. When I was eating that way and fasting that way, I did that because I went through menopause and I wanted to lose 30 pounds, and I did. I did that for a year and I lost the weight. I got back into shape. My skin cleared up, which is another thing. Sugar causes skin issues. The visceral fat, the stomach bulge, all of those things disappeared when I wasn't eating sugar, and I was eating dark chocolate. So there's a lot to be said for that. And I think the reason that I went back to eating sugar, they also mentioned carbs, which, white flour, rice, corn, all the things that are carbs that will turn into sugar in your body. I wasn't eating a lot of those. I think I was allowing myself a little bit in moderation, but wasn't feasting on those things for sure. And it is absolutely true that my sense of taste was amazing. I mean, every meal that I cooked, I thought was the best thing I had ever had. It felt like I was cooking up these healthy, I was using Green Chef, and I'm not advertising for Green Chef. I mean, I don't get a commission from Green Chef, but I do highly recommend. I like the Sunbasket delivery meals, and then after I got kind of tired of the same old thing with Sunbasket, which they do change up, but I wanted to try something new, and I started ordering Green Chef. And Green Chef was the one that, I could live on Green Chef every single day. I love that meal order company. And that, when I lost the 30 pounds and I got myself back in shape and I felt like I was me again and I felt like more energy, then I started to allow myself to eat a little bit here and a little bit there until I got off that food plan. And now I'm doing more of a 18-6 or a 16-8 kind of diet plan, and not really loosely, I'm not strict about it. I don't really need to go back to the 24. I think that was pretty drastic. I think that an 18-6 would be just fine for me. But the foods, when it comes to the foods, I really, really do think that a lot of the pain and inflammation that I'm feeling has to do with sugar and carbs. So I'm not here making a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to say, I'm definitely going to do this, because like I said, life is a process. It's a journey. And I don't do well when I commit to something and say, I want to be held accountable. I want everybody to know I'm starting this. And that's usually when I tank. I don't know what it is, but when I just do it for myself, and I just do it because I want to, because I think it's a good idea, and I don't necessarily announce it to the world, then that's when I usually achieve whatever I set out to do. Nobody knew that I spent a whole entire year doing that 24 fast. No one knew it. I just did it because I wanted to badly enough. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there because I may or may not start to eliminate sugar from my diet. But if I do, somewhere throughout, I'll let you know that that's what I'm doing. I would like to at least get started first to the point where I'm not craving it before I started making announcements. But I wanted to really just say that when it comes to habits, when it comes to any kind of making a resolution or trying to conquer a bad habit or trying to do something differently in your life, I think it really starts with, how badly do you want it? How much pain is this thing causing you, and how badly do you want to get rid of that pain or whatever it is that it's causing you? If something is causing problems in your relationship, how bad is it? And that's why they say in the 12-step program, people have to hit bottom. everybody's bottom is different, but it has to get to a point where you feel that it's so bad that you just can't wait to get rid of this thing. You're going to get rid of this thing. Come hell or high water, you're going to do it. And that's usually when people stick to their promises to change a habit. It takes 17 days to change a habit. It takes, I don't know how many days. For me, it was probably 30, 45 days before I really got feeling like I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Before I stopped craving, I stopped wanting, I stopped even thinking about it after about 45 days. So for anybody who makes New Year's resolutions, I wish you the very best with it. And I'm not saying you won't succeed, you just might do it. And for anybody who just creates different habits along the way, just because, if something's not working for you, you want to do something different to where you think that something can work better. Good for you too. I really wish you the best. And so that's what I wanted to say today. I'm going to go ahead and get into the office, and I hope you're all having a great New Year so far, and I will see you next time.